Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Luis Morales. I'm a health fitness specialist with Exos at Autodesk. 2:30 on a Thursday afternoon. Super grateful that today is the final day of the work week for all of us associated with Autodesk. So woohoo for us. Before we get started with some stretching and some movement here today, guys, go ahead and drop anything in the chat that you feel needs a little bit of extra love, a little bit of extra stretching. Anywhere, it doesn't matter. We can definitely work it into the routine for this afternoon. So if you were with us earlier for Jazzy's workout, there was shoulders perfect, hon, because I was going to say, we did a lot of shoulder work in Jazzy's workout. So what we're going to do is a lot of shoulder work. +1 says Rebecca, awesome. Okay, shoulders it is. That's what we'll start with here, guys. So what we're going to do is actually start on the ground, hands and knees position here. We'll start by working, did this in the stretch break earlier today too. We'll start by working kind of a very, I guess you can say it's underused muscle that runs from the rib cage or from the shoulder blade to the rib cage. And it controls how we kind of push and pull our shoulder forward and back here. So what we're gonna do is start with those hands planted right under the shoulders. Spine nice and straight, tummy's tight, in order to make sure our spine doesn't bend at all. What we're gonna do is sink down towards the ground here. So elbows stay nice and straight. The shoulder blades are gonna come and pinch together on our backs. And then from here, what we'll do is activate those muscles under the arms and push away from the ground. Now it's a subtle movement. You can start to kind of move at your own pace here. We're just trying to take the shoulder blades together as we sink down and then away from each other as we come up. And make sure as you push up that you're not doing any crazy rounding of the back. We want to keep that spine nice and straight. Focus on the subtle shoulder movement here. It may not feel like much, but activating these muscles will really help turn them on when you're using your shoulder in the future, help you avoid a lot of shoulder injuries. Breathe as we go, guys. Maybe starting to burn. Let's do a couple more. You can see my shoulder blades coming together here. Last one, I'm pushing up and away. Beautiful. All right, you guys, so let's come up into this tall kneeling here. And what that means is just kind of we're on our knees all the way up, hips are under us here. And what we're gonna do is just a little bit of shoulder rotation in the sockets. I like this position though, because it really kind of forces our hips come under us, forces us to use those hips instead of when we're in standing, don't always get used the way we want them to be used. All right, so we're gonna start with those arms out, big T position here. Ball those fists up and leave the thumbs out. So before we start to rotate, check in with yourself. Are your hips kind of back here? If not, let's squeeze those glutes, tighten up the core, bring them right under us so we can be nice and supported like a 3/4 height pillar. All right, let's rotate those thumbs back. So point them behind you, towards the wall behind. And as we rotate, we're just trying to go as far as we comfortably can and not shrug. So let's let those thumbs come all the way back up, face the ceiling, and then start to rotate forward, facing the camera, and then rotate down towards the ground. Good work, you guys, good work. Hold that for a sec, then we can start to reverse direction here. Coming forward with those thumbs, slowly coming up, and then coming all the way back, pointing behind you. Good job, you guys, good job. Check in with yourself, make sure you're not shrugging. Where are those hips? Keep them right under you. Let's rotate all the way back now. So thumbs up towards the ceiling. Thumbs coming forward. Thumbs now pointed down. Hold that for a moment. Where are the hips at? Take a nice deep breath. All right, let's rotate them all the way back up towards the ceiling, guys. Still taking it nice and slow, nice and controlled. We'll stop as they point up towards the ceiling. Take a breath, and then let those arms drop back down towards the ground. Give those arms a little shake. They might burn a little bit. All right, next up, we're gonna be down, hands and knees here. This is how we're gonna start this next one. What we're gonna do is get into some child's pose. We're gonna stretch out one side at a time. So let's walk those hands out super far out to one side, keeping those knees kind of planted where they're at. Once you get the hands walked out to one side, we can sink those hips back, pull those hands into a comfortable position. And now we got one side really kind of outstretched here. Next step, we got to just breathe into all that tension in that outstretched side. So try and expand the rib cage as much as possible on those inhales. And then give it a nice, long, slow exhale. Nicely done, you guys. Let's do one more breath. Well done. All right, let's rise. Put some more weight into those hands, and then we'll walk those hands all the way out to the other side. So same deal over here, planting those hands way out to the side, sinking the hips back. We can pull the hands back a little bit towards our body. We're in a stretched out position, but still comfortable here, not too much stretch. And then breathing into that rib cage, into that outstretched side. Good job, everybody. Good job. Keep breathing. Keep expanding as much as possible on that inhale. And then a nice, long, deflating exhale. Nicely done, everybody. All right, let's slowly rise. Put some more weight into those hands. And what we'll end with, let's go ahead and take a seat on the ground here. All right, you guys, so what we're gonna end with here today is a little bit of rotation through the hips. And we're gonna go ahead and address that internal rotation, something that is often overlooked in our hips. So go ahead and have a seat here, knees bent, heels resting out in front. We don't want the feet too close together because we're gonna be rotating here. So plant those heels wider than your hip width. You can lean back on those hands for support here. And what we're gonna do is alternating internal rotation. So the heels will stay connected to the ground. One knee is gonna go ahead and come. We're just gonna rotate the hip inside as much as we comfortably can without doing any big twists with the upper body. Come in towards the midline as much as possible, as much as comfortably possible, and then we'll come all the way back out. So one leg at a time, we'll alternate. Pulling that knee in. Feeling where the wall is for this joint and coming back out of it. Remember, keep that tummy tight, no upper body movement here, guys. Just let the hip rotate as much as it can. If it feels comfortable, you may be able to push it a little bit, but stay within a comfortable range. Just going back and forth with this internal rotation here. Good work, you guys. Breathe. Slowly loosening up that hip capsule, that hip joint that we've been sitting on all day. Good job, guys. Good job. Let's do one more each side wherever we're at. First knee coming in, holding for a sec, coming out. Second knee coming in, holding for a sec, coming back out. Nicely done. Good work, you guys. All right, feel free to stay seated. You can come up to kneeling or standing, whatever you prefer, but that is all the time I have left for the stretch break here today. So thank you guys so much for joining me. You do have one more opportunity to stretch and get some abs and core work in with Brittany. Her class is at 4:30 p.m. today, so don't miss out on that. We are also doing a big blood drive. This kind of stuff is obviously just as important as it was in the past, but even more important now in COVID times. So whole month of June is when we're doing it. Go ahead and sign up now to reserve your spot and get in on that inner office competition. All right, guys, hope everyone has a great rest of your day and a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Luis.
Thanks, Luis.
Thanks for coming, guys. Have a good weekend.